Hello Virginia, thank you for coming along and doing the third of your hot seats for Baptism of Fire. Now, our viewers should already know what's going on, and really you should know what's going on too. Basically, you are now hot seating for Jilly. So Jilly is, I would say, probably the main female role in Baptism of Fire. I won't say too much about her character. Hopefully we'll get a little glimpse of that while you're answering these questions. Here's the deal. It's the same as when you were being Alistair. You have to use their, you have to use I and stuff like that, but you don't have to use their voice, so you don't have to do an impression of her voice. So you're excused from that. You get 4 minutes, and in those 4 minutes you have 8 questions which you have to answer. So you've been able to answer 7 for the last 2. So let's see if we can make it to 8 in the 4 minutes this time. So here we go. Questions for Jilly. Are you ready?
Just about.
Okay. Right. Okay, I will start when the clock hits 4 minutes. So it's now counting down from 5 seconds. Jilly, which song best sums up your life so far?
I think, gosh, this is a tricky one. Why do you always ask really tricky questions? I think the one that sums up my life best so far is, there are too many songs.
Pick one song.
One song. My mind's gone absolutely blank.
Right, okay, we'll pass that question for now.
Can we come back to it in a
We'll
minute?
come back to it if we have time. What is your favourite place to visit?
Oh, I love going to the church and the churchyard. So I love spending time in the building and around the building as well.
Prior to the events in Baptism of Fire, no spoilers please, what was the most exciting thing to happen in the village?
Well, from a personal point of view, it was very exciting when my sister got married. That was quite an exciting event, and it brought a lot of people together, which was really, really lovely. But I think from the village's point of view, it was probably a few years ago now, when we had a very great bonfire party at the vicarage. It was the first one since the new vicar arrived. Well, he's not a new vicar now. He's been here quite a while. But that was really nice, and that brought together a lot of people. So that was lovely.
Okay, super. You and Alistair seem very close, Jilly. Would you say you have a lot in common?
We have some things in common, but more than that, I think we have more things that we understand in each other. So I'm not sure as we're like 2 peas in a pod or anything, but I feel like he understands me, and I like to think I understand some of the things that he's gone through.
How did you become the organist at St. Hubert's?
Oh, well, I was trained up by our previous organist before he moved away. So he now lives in the south of France.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he retired out there. So I've always been really, really interested in music. I love music. And I've always had a shot at playing any musical instrument I can get my hands on. And when he said that he was planning his retirement overseas, I asked whether or not he could train me up in time, and he did.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I think I do. I think I do believe in ghosts, but I've never seen one, so I'm not like 100% sure. But But I know people who have said that they have seen ghosts, so yeah, I'm going to go for yes.
What would you say makes someone a strong person?
The ability to confront and manage their difficulties, whatever those difficulties might be. So whether they're fears or sorrows, I think a strong person is someone who can overcome that.
Okay, and that is your time. Now, because we had a massive problem over the What's the Song, you actually were a couple under.
I still don't know what the song would be.
There is the song question, which you still haven't answered, although it did take up the first minute of this interview. And there is also one other question. As your bonus question, would you like to have a go at the song question, or would you like to have a go at this other one?
No, I'd rather have a go at the other one. The song one, there's just too many songs.
Okay. So, your bonus question is, what inspires you?
My mom. My mom is a huge inspiration to me. She's a bit of a guiding light to me. And I think I'm more inspired by people who I have met. So I'm not really interested in like celebrity culture and things like that. I see people doing little things and they become an inspiration for me. But yeah, I'd probably single out my mum.
Okay, right, thank you, Virginia, / Jilly. So, question for Virginia here now. We are doing this hot seating. We've done hot seating for you as the authors of your person. We've done the hot seating now for Alistair and for Jilly. And next time we'll be doing the hot seat for Kevin. So of those three characters, Jilly's obviously, she's the only female. Would you say you find female characters easier to write or male characters?
I think it depends what the role of the character is. Because if their purpose in the story is something I could actually see myself doing, it's probably easier to write female characters. But if their role in the story is something that I wouldn't necessarily be like, I'd go for male characters. I prefer writing male characters.
Why do you think that is?
Probably because it's not as easy to compare myself to them, for obvious reasons. So it's easier to see them as part of the story. Whereas when I'm writing female characters, sometimes they start to become more like me or you or Clemency, because you know I know you both pretty well. So I think in that respect it's easier to write male characters on the whole.
Okay, thank you. So just the same question as we had last time. We've talked about how you hear the characters' voices in your head, and last time you said that when you are writing for Alistair, you're imagining him being voiced kind of by a Brian Cox type person. So anyone for Jilly?
Well, no, because again, I think I probably hear a kind of mixture of our three voices for her, because you know I'm used to hearing us at least as much more, in fact, than any particular actor or anyone else. So I think I would probably put our voices on her more than anyone else's.
Okay, thank you very much, Virginia. After a bit of a shaky start there with the first question.
That's a really tough question. You're not allowed to ask me that for Kevin.
Okay, well, I'll come up with some other ones for Kevin. Obviously, Kevin is how old?
8, yes.
Yeah. So the questions probably would be slightly different for him anyway.